I think I just discovered the best landing page builder for Shopify. I've so far not only recommended a lot of our clients hop on it, but I've also had the chance to play with it myself and even speak to their team since I'm now hosting their Facebook ads Q&A calls within their client community. In this video, I want to walk you through the best landing page builder for your Shopify store, allowing you to create many different landing pages with ease for your store to run, again, traffic, ads, etc. to it, and customize it in a way that gets you more conversions. And the beauty with all of this, you don't have to be a web developer. You don't have to know everything there's to know about coding, design, etc. This is a pretty straightforward app. So let's get straight into it. If you don't know who I am, my name is Justin and I'm the founder at Wizzo Media, an e-commerce marketing agency specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. And this tool is no other than Replo. So if you're unfamiliar with what Replo is, it's again a landing page builder only for Shopify stores. So as they say, Shopify pages without the dev time, because you truthfully don't have to be a very advanced dev. Pretty much anyone can get started and easily use their software. Also good for them, they recently got a $4.2 million seed round from backers at basically Y Combinator, Infinity Ventures, La Famiglia, but also no other than Figma. And I like to see that because I would love to compare Replo to Figma. They also talk of themselves as almost a Figma for creating landing pages for Shopify stores specifically. Because as I'll show you in a second, by browsing through the tool, you can actually play with the tool in a very similar way that you would use either Webflow or Figma. So once you make an account and sign in, by the way, there's gonna be a link in the description down below for you to do that. So check this out. You're gonna be greeted with a page like this. So pretty simple UI, pretty straightforward. And then you have a small little tutorial that greets you right here. So either you can get ahead and connect with your Shopify store. So that way you already link it and then you can start building with their Shopify integration. The beauty with that is that any of the product boxes or collection boxes or anything like that that you're gonna use in their editor are going to be automatically synced with whatever inventory or whatever products you have on Shopify. Just for the sake of this video though, I'll be using the launch sandbox, which essentially is a way for you to test a tool without actually connecting it with your Shopify store yet. If you go ahead and click right here, Learn Replo, you're gonna see that there's a lot for you to do. They have a subdomain called Docs, which essentially, as you can see, there's quite a lot of things for you to go through. So there's integration, there's components, which essentially are the many different things that you can use within the builder itself. There's editing these components, there's content types, and then you have basically how to actually build in Replo. So highly recommend you check this out if you're going to play with this software. As mentioned earlier, the beauty with Replo is that you can easily integrate some of your designs from Figma into Replo itself, which again makes me think a lot of Webflow. Where on Webflow, you can literally have the exact same design. You can export a Figma file, get it on your Webflow sites, and then have it essentially, you just would have to do a couple tweaks to make sure it's responsive, but that's it. So it's not there as of yet on Replo, but nonetheless, like textile, as it says right here, or icons, illustrations, you can do a very simple copy and paste essentially from one to the other, which can save you a lot of time from a design perspective. So now if I launch their sandbox, this is what I'm greeted with. So this might be a screen that you're familiar with. It really makes me think, they say Figma, they say Webflow, I also say Myro. So if you're used to using Myro boards, it's very similar. I say that because of all the little dots you have in the background, but quite similar. You just have to press on the space bar and you can kind of navigate through all of it, which again is a way that most of us designers or developers are used to. But nonetheless, as mentioned earlier, you don't have to be a dev or an expert designer to make this work. So there's a couple of things here that I'm gonna bring your attention to. First of all, you can build and automatically see how your landing page is going to adapt and perform on both a mobile, tablet, and desktop. I highly recommend you check specifically desktop and mobile, but more so mobile, because usually most brands that at least we work with at the agency, it's about 70 to 90% of their traffic that comes from mobile. So definitely it's good to be able to make sure that you've got something strong here with it. Now, if I start clicking on elements to edit them, so right here, I can just click on those, or I could also click on whatever is on my left panel right here, which again, quite similar to the way the Webflow is built out. So you can see on the right, I have my design panel that opens up from there, which again, very similar to Webflow's UI. So you can edit all of your elements from the right panel here, which this is for any existing elements that you have on screen. Or I could go ahead and go on my left section, go to components, and then either search components in the library, go to saved if ever you saved any templates in the past. So let's just say you like to reuse a specific style of button, specific header, specific footer. You can save these components right here so that it's easy for you in new designs and projects to just import them. But in that case, I could just go to components, and let's just say I want to have a product. So I could just go right here, type product, and as you can see, there's many different ways for me to do so. So let's just go product, and then let me add this in between right here. So there you go. I've just added a product block right here with a description, button, and add to cart. If I had my Shopify store already linked with my Replo account, I would be able to actually come over here and select the various products that are available in my store. So you can see here on the right bar, if I select my product, I would see on the right I either go design so that I can change the styling, or I could go config, which essentially gives me more about the choices that I have. So I could go right here and pick different products. Those are the kind of placeholders that Replo has by default. Let's just say I switch to this one just for the sake of it. Well, that's what you're gonna see right here, right? It updates to technically the same product picture, the same description, title, and pricing that I would have live on my Shopify store. Earlier you saw I went to components. I could also just click insert here at the top, which would also bring me to components. So quite handy to know. And if you click library at the top, you've got quite a lot of cool stuff that will pop up. So essentially they have a preset library of many different, as an example, heroes, banners, sections, products, bundles. And if you go back to home, you can also see there's the from the community tab, which essentially those are all designs that the community and other users of Replo have made and uploaded on there. So I could click, let's say, here from the community, and I could see a bunch of different sections that the community would have made, and I can either literally copy what they've done. So I can, as an example, click this, click add, and then it would add that to my website. So as you can see, it added it here right at the bottom by default, but I could either from my left side right here, so as an example, this is my container, I could either drag that up on the left side, and if I want to move that, let's say all the way at the top, well, that's what I could do. So if I go now all the way at the top, there you go, it's moved there. Or what I could also do is simply select it here and start moving it down, up, or even to the side if I wanted to in this design. Now, last thing I'd like to show you is a little bit more here also on the left sidebar. So first of all, by default, as you see, you've got from Athletic Greens and from one from June Shine, which essentially are just kind of these templates that Replo gives you to allow you to play with the tool and see how it performs, and also see kind of what you would be able to do with it. But you can see here, you've got a page, post, and sections button. So when you click on page, you can click on new page right here, and there's many different things that you can do. So in this case, I'm already using an existing page, but what I could do is I could just click blank page. So let me just do it for the sake of it. I'm gonna name it, let's say page 1, and there you go. Now I can pick a Shopify theme layout. So let's just say I want an announcement bar or not, show only footer, show only header. Let me just pick the default one, which is that right here. And I'm gonna create a page. Now, if I had an active plan, then it would have made a new page right here, but it's just to show you how easy it is. I already showed you earlier some of the templates that you can use. They've got templates the same way that I showed you earlier for elements or components. They've got the same thing for the layout of an overall landing page, which again is accessible from new page. Templates, or now one of their latest features is Replo AI, which they allow you to create a new landing page entirely based on AI. So if we learn more a little bit about what this is, essentially they're going to tell you right here what you could do. So it's AI generated copy, data driven design optimization, blah blah blah, smart layout recommendation, context aware content. But as you can see right here, and again, I just can't show you right now because I don't have an active subscription on it, but if I had, I would be able to go back to Replo, creates, essentially generate with Replo AI, and then I can go through all of this and select what type of landing page do I want, tonality of that landing page, the goal, I pick one of my products, and then a little bit like you would with ChatGPT, you just kind of give it context. You kind of tell it a little bit more about who you are, what you want, and what's the overall goal of that landing page. You would click make magic, and then it would do an entire landing page layout, all the copy. It would automatically pull in the pictures of your products and basically build you a full landing page from scratch automatically that is custom to your brand and needs. And you've got a similar way of doing a post right here. So essentially, which is basically like a blog article that you can create straight from Replo. Kind of the same thing with a section that you can make and reuse again across many different projects. So to wrap things up with some pros and cons of Replo. Pros, I'd say that the integration with Figma, I like that. So from a design perspective, it's easy for you to link your design team with essentially a very simple visual builder for such a landing page. Two, if you're used to using design tools like, again, Figma, or developing tools or website building tools like Webflow, then you're not going to miss out on anything when using Replo because you have very similar features. Then it's only made for Shopify stores, which I'll put that as a pro and also as a con in the next couple of minutes, because I like the fact that they're specialized. A little bit like TripleWall, which is not trying to appeal to everyone. It's only for Shopify-based store. So if you're a Shopify business, and I would see a landing page builder like that is backed by multiple $1 million by big brands like Figma, which technically now Figma is owned by Adobe. That just kind of goes to show you the authority that Replo has within this space. So there's that. And also the fact that it's quite easy and fast for you to publish stuff and just get a landing page up and running, and to start basically playing with it with your ads or any other places for that matter you want to put it at. Now, the cons of Replo, and this is kind of my feedback overall from having played with it and having seen some of our clients use it, I would start by saying, once again, the fact that it's only Shopify. So if you're on WooCommerce or if you use any other e-commerce platforms, you unfortunately cannot use Replo. Now, the next con that I'd like to bring up, which is I think my biggest one and my last one also, is the fact that to get your stats or analytics from Replo, you can't really see that within Replo itself. So you would have to go through an external third party and use, as an example, Google Analytics, Google Optimize, GTMs to essentially able to analyze your landing page performance. As a user, I would love to see all of my stats within one place, to just have to open up Replo and be able to not only see the design aspect, to be able to publish it live like you already can, but also be able to analyze and troubleshoot my landing pages straight from Replo. I'm not a developer, and I'm not sure if this is going to be true, what I'm about to say right now, but the reason why I think this is the case is because of that. So as they say, what happens is that when you publish a Replo page, it basically updates your Shopify theme. So it basically publishes the page natively within your own Shopify theme, just as if a developer had custom coded that within Shopify. So that's why, again, this is both a pro and a con, because it's a pro because, again, it's natively integrated with Shopify. So you can't have something that is faster and more efficient as it's already on Shopify. But on the flip side, the fact that it's natively on Shopify, then and again, I might be completely wrong, but I believe this might be why you need to analyze the stats elsewhere than on Replo. With that said, I will have to give it to them. They make it quite easy. If you already have Google Analytics installed on your Shopify store and you link it with Replo, well, you're automatically going to have a link between your Replo landing pages and the Google Analytics account that is already linked on your Shopify store. So with that being said, one last time, check out the description down below for a link on signing up to Replo. I highly recommend it. It's an amazing software overall. Again, natively integrates with Shopify, is super easy to use, and I've seen some great results for our clients using that software on a regular basis. So on that note, make sure you check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips. And there's going to be 2 links in the description down below for whether you're an e-commerce brand looking for an agency to run your paid advertising and creative campaigns, or if on the flip side, you just want consulting and want help on getting up and running as you're a smaller brand. Both links will also be linked down below. So that being said, have an awesome day, and I'll see you next video. Cheers.